It is one of the most ancient cities in the Holy Land, located on the Via Maris, the sea road which connected ancient Egypt to the Levant. Beit She'an's history goes back to the Chalcolithic period.
The unique thing about Beit She'an in the antiquities of the land of Israel is this continuous settlement of 6,000 years. And when we ask ourselves, what makes a town in the ancient world? Why choose to build a city in the ancient world? And there are 4 criteria. One is strategic elevation for defense, water, of course, arable land, so you can grow food, and location, roads. And Beit She'an has all 4 big time. It is on the Via Maris. Beit She'an is the necessary road if you're connecting Damascus and Mesopotamia, the area between the rivers, and Egypt, and vice versa. So all the trading and all the warpath and all the goods that are going on this road have to go through this area, location and roads.
Beit She'an is mentioned numerous times in the Bible. The book of Samuel tells how the body of King Saul was exhibited by the Philistines on the city's wall, after he fell on his sword when he lost his battle on the Gilad.
It is on Mount Gilboa, the mountain that is behind us, that King Saul fell on his sword after he saw his own sons die in the battlefield, knowing that the battle was lost. Rather than fall alive at the hand of the Philistines, he fell on his sword. His body and his sons' bodies were taken to Beit She'an and were hung on the walls of the city. The people of Gilad came from across the river, across the Jordan, took down his body and gave him a respectful burial. For that, King David will later reward them. But Beit She'an is the location of this great battle.
The Egyptian period was also a substantial chapter in the history of Beit She'an. It was conquered by Thutmose III during the 15th century BC. We can still see some of the rare remains of that period.
These are Egyptian hieroglyphs. There are several hieroglyphs that were found here, some all the way from the 15th century BC. The stela of Thutmose III already describes Beit She'an as a site that he conquered, and the Egyptians continued to rule here well into the 12th century BC because this is the Via Maris.
During the Hellenistic period, Beit She'an was called Scythopolis, named after the Scythian tribes who settled there. The city continued to flourish during the Roman era.
This is the main street. Today we call this the Palladio Street. This is the Cardo. We're in the ancient downtown. This is where all the main stores. On this side we see the Agora, or the main marketplace. Shops will be lined on either side. Very opulent, beautiful pillars, Corinthian and Ionic, painted in many, many colors. Some of the higher-end stores over here as well. And behind us is the Acropolis, which is for the time, is the modern city. Here we can see the differences between the cities of the Old Testament and the cities of the New Testament. In the Old Testament, in the ancient cities, will always be concentrated on a hilltop, on a tell, layers of civilization, surrounded by a wall.
The remains of the city depict shrines of some of the most recognized gods of Greek and Roman mythology. Here we can see shrines which were dedicated to Zeus, Dionysus, and of course, Tyche, who is considered the god who protected the city.
In the Greek period, we see the beginning of the expansion as a city starting to be built around the tell. In the Hellenistic and then Roman and then Byzantine fashion, Tyche is the goddess of luck, the Greek goddess of luck, and she's one of the patrons of Scythopolis, which is the Greek name, the Hellenistic name of Beit She'an. And she's found in a very, very beautiful mosaic, which is right behind me, in one of these stores of the Sigma Square, these high-end stores right next to the main street of Scythopolis.